Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Marvelous Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We had the most beautiful weather here in New England, and of course it was Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. And tell me what you did. Did you get taken out? I've been hearing all these wonderful stories about these marvelous brunches with mimosas and tulips and all sorts of wonderful things. So I hope that you got treated to a really nice weekend, and if not, I hope you treated yourself to a really nice weekend. And it doesn't have to stop with the weekend. I wanted to share some of the watercolor sketches that I've done the past couple of weeks, and to remind everybody that today is the last day to sign up for the watercolor sketching class, and it's going to be a really, really good one. I don't want you to miss it. I will have all of that information in a link in the description of the video after I'm done, but if you can't wait, please go to my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com and you will find information there about the watercolor sketching class. And the registration closes tonight at midnight, and it's designed specifically for beginners, and you can paint in both watercolor and in the water-based inks. And so the pictures I have here are painted with both. And what I mean by the water-based inks is I'm talking about the refillers that we use to refill our stamp pads. These inks are wonderful for the watercolor technique. They work beautifully. They're a little bit different from watercolor, but you still apply the same principles and the same techniques, and you can get some very nice results. The colors I have here are the new in colors that I absolutely love. They are earthy, muted tones, which are perfect for painting with. And so I've got all 5 of them here. And then I also have some of the craft white ink, which I may or may not need, but I like to have that out as well. So these pictures, I've got a couple of landscapes and some flowers, were painted in both watercolor and the water-based inks. So this one was painted with watercolor. This one was painted with ink. So if you look at the two of them, you can see that you can get a very nice result either way. And I don't think I spent much longer than 15 or 20 minutes on these, and some of them even less. Here is a monochromatic bouquet that I painted using the new pecan pie color, which is this very pretty warm brown, and I just did this little monochromatic. You know, you can do something like this very quickly. And then this one, this was also painted with ink, and this is also using the new in colors. So you can see I'm having a lot of fun with these colors. So I thought I would do that for you today. I'll do one more quick watercolor sketch. I have out the Pebbled Path stamp pad. I'm going to be using this for my sentiment so that it coordinates with my card base, and you can see that this Pebbled Path is just about the perfect neutral tone for using as a mat to your watercolor. I've also got some paper that I cut out using the deckled rectangles. And then finally, I have my Go-To Greetings, which is a wonderful stamp set. If you were to have just only one stamp set, I would recommend that you get this one because it's perfect. It has happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, thank you, and then it has those sentiments and all these various scripts. So depending on what size you need, how elegant or how casual, you've got something here for whatever the occasion may require. So these are my go-to things today. I've also got a water painter. All of the materials that I'm using today I will have listed below, so you don't have to write anything down. And I'm going to share my screen with you. So let me just check first and make sure that we're broadcasting. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, yes, that's working. And I see Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you here. I hope you had a great weekend. Now, I'm going to show you a picture. This is the view at sunset from my terrace up in the backyard near my vintage trailer, Belle. And so this is where I go at the end of the day to relax and let the chickens run around, have a little glass of wine, and just enjoy the beauty all around me. And at a certain time, at the end of the day, the sun hits this tree, as you can see off in the distance there, across the field. And look at those beautiful clouds. So I thought I would use this as my inspiration today. So I'm just going to put that so you can see. I also have a palette here that I have all the 5 in colors. I have a couple of drops. I might need a little more blue. It doesn't look like there's very much blue there. You don't need much. Three or four drops is plenty. And of course you could always add more as you go. So I have a couple of different sizes here. Just want to decide. Yeah, this is the largest deckled rectangle die cut. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to keep these aside. This I thought I could use for a sentiment. So let me get these things out of the way so they don't get splattered. I've got a paper towel handy just in case. And these sketches, these watercolor sketches, are not meant to be masterpieces, okay? They're supposed to be a way to acquaint yourself with your subject and prepare for a larger painting if you choose or not to choose to do a larger painting. If you have a watercolor sketchbook, it's a wonderful way to go out and sit out in the garden or the woods or the park, wherever you may be, and just have a wonderful afternoon just doing some quick studies and quick sketches. You don't have to show them to anybody if you don't want to. And what I've found is that if you have a sketchbook that you use frequently, you'll find that over time you get a nice little collection of these little sketches that are absolutely perfect for greeting cards and note cards. And that's kind of how I got into making all of these cards. So I'm not going to talk a lot today. I'm going to paint fast because I'm actually really tired. I'm exhausted, and I want to go take a nap. So this is going to be a quick example of what you can do with your in colors. And I just want to check, see if there's if you have any questions, please type them into the comments, and I'll take a look in a little while. I'll take a break and see if there's anything there. So I'm just gonna get a nice wash going on my paper and bringing the water right to the edge. In fact, I can use my spritzer. Let me grab my spritzer. I'm gonna give it a quick spritz off camera. Okay, so there's a light wash, just a little bit of color. I'm going to get my tree line established. In the watercolor sketching class, you'll learn how to do several different techniques, different ways you can apply the paint and use it. And we'll begin with a landscape like what I'm doing here, and then we'll also explore the ways to get started doing some botanical or floral paintings as well. So it's going to be a nice all-around kind of an introduction. I'll talk about your setup, your materials, and how you can get started without spending a lot of money and without buying a lot of stuff that you don't need. So there'll also be a Zoom with Q&A, so you can share your pictures in the Facebook group and then you can join us in the Q&A and ask questions and see what everybody else is doing. We've got a bunch of people already signed up, but there's still room for more. So if you've been hoping to find the time to do a little watercolor painting, now's the time. We're getting ready for the summer season, and all of the wonderful life that's coming into the gardens now, the flowers as they bloom. Right now the tulips and the daffodils are just exquisite, and it won't be long before the peonies start blooming, so you want to be ready to capture those peonies. And we may have the opportunity to paint a bird or two, or maybe a butterfly. So lots of things coming up this summer. So you want to be ready, and that's what this class is designed for, is to help you get ready to feel confident about going out there and developing your skills and capturing some beautiful scenes and flowers. Now you can see that my paper is very, very wet, and so what I'll probably do is I'll paint as much as I can, taking advantage of the moisture on the paper, but then I'll put in my my details. Once it's dry, I'll come back and I will post the finished painting. After it's dry, you'll be able to see it in the thumbnail. I'm just increasing the color. This is just straight boho blue, the new favorite color. I think everybody's really enjoying using the boho blue, and it makes a very nice landscape color. And I'm gonna add some darks now. So I'm gonna grab some of my pebbled path and maybe a little bit of the, what is it called? I forget the names of all these things. Copper clay. Copper clay. Let's see. You can see it's still moving around a little bit, so I'm not going to be able to get the details. But I think you can start to see something developing here. See, that's really spreading. So I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm just gonna put a couple of strokes in the foreground. You know, and once you have your scene established, you can add figures or a dog or a bird, or you know, anything that you may like. I can start to capture some of the shapes of the trees. Branches. Get the characteristics of each one. Now this is pretty abstract right now, and you can keep them as abstract as you like, or you can really get into your drawing and get very specific, spend a lot of time on it. Personally, I really prefer these quick studies. I love the spontaneity of them and the liveliness. So I wouldn't do much more at this stage. I'm just going to let that dry, and then when it's dry enough, I'll be able to use my brush to add in details and sketch the trunks of the trees and work on those branches and all of that sort of thing. But I'm going to put this aside for a minute, and I'm just going to quickly stamp my sentiment. So let's see what fits on here. I love this just a note. I think that'll work really nicely. Let's see. I have to read these backwards now. Thank you. Just a note, this one. All right, let me find a block. Straight on there. Okay. This is a brand new ink pad, so this should be plenty juicy. There's my sentiment. Looks really cute. And I'm not gonna glue anything down just yet. I'm gonna give it a minute to dry. Let me just give this if you don't have a bone folder, you need to have a bone folder. Bone folder is the thing that I probably use more than anything else. So give that a nice crease, a nice fold. So there's my beginning, just a start, but I think you can already see something developing. Now the Pebbled Path card base is a little bit too dark to write your message on the inside. So what I would do is I would take another piece of paper and I would just glue that into place for your message, and again that deckled die looks really pretty for that. And I'm just so impressed with this palette. Now this was just using 5 of the new in colors, and I was able to create this beautiful little scene. I might have to cut this sentiment down a little bit, maybe too big, but you get the idea. So there it is. I'm going to check and see if there's any questions. Oh, hi Tommy. Oh, Tommy says that she was painting Mother's Day cards. Yay. Well, listen, Tommy, I would love to see what you did. Could you please share them in the Dandelion Paper Pal group? That'd be awesome. We'd all like to see. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. Kelly says, is watercolor sketching always done wet and wet? No, not at all. The sky's the limit. You know, it really depends on what the effect is that you'd like to accomplish, and also I think, you know, what it is that you're painting kind of speaks to how you want to go about doing it. So in the watercolor sketching class, I will be showing you several different ways, several different approaches. So we will be painting wet and wet. There'll also be some dry brush and everything in between. So no, there are no rules. There are no always do this, always do that. And I always tell people that as soon as I tell you to do something one way, that you know, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you how to do it in a completely different way. So really, it's entirely up to you. And for me, speaking for myself, I would say that the subject is what kind of tells me how to approach it. Beverly says, good to see you. Yeah, I know that some of you sounded a little bit worried when I wasn't here on Saturday, and I just had so much stuff going on. You know, when spring comes around, I do have a gardening business that I do design and garden maintenance for a number of clients here in my town. And this is, you know, this is the really big time of year, you know, getting everything cleaned up, getting all of the designs topped off, and making sure that we have the plants and the amendments and all the other things that go into it. Plus, you know, I work with a number of other people, so it's a lot. And I will I'm thinking, oh, I moved that off the camera, you can't see it, there you go. I'm thinking I may be altering my summer hours, so I will be, once I figure out how I want to work it, I will be announcing that. And I'm kind of leaning towards taking Saturdays off so that I can do the farmer's market. So I'll keep Watercolor Wednesday and then 1 or 2 other days. And I'm kind of thinking that if I do something maybe on a Thursday, it'll give you all time to think about it and maybe be inspired by it, so that you'll have some projects to work on over the weekend. So I will keep you informed as to what the schedule's going to be looking like, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be doing Saturdays. Thank you very much, Kelly. Beverly, I'm full of energy. No, I'm not. I am not full of energy. I'm losing my energy. I need to invigorate myself. That's one of the plans for the summer, is to get back into shape and get healthy and get more energy. All right, folks, that's the show for today. And I will finish this off camera, and you'll be able to see the finished painting later. Remember, today is the last day to sign up for watercolor sketching. And all of that information is on my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com. You can also find a number of posts on it with clickable links right here on my Facebook page, Dandelion Cottage Design, and also on my YouTube, Dandelion Cottage Design. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. Registration closes at midnight tonight. I'd love to have you in the class, and my intention is that it will help get you prepared for a full season of painting from nature. So I'd love to have you join us. Stay well, stay creative, stay happy, and I will see you next time.